So it's been over 3 weeks since I uploaded a video. I did really well and filmed 2 videos in one day and then did nothing since. I had plans to do vlogs and they just never happened. I had plans to do like the mid-year freak-out tag. Sorry for the noise outside, the window's open, it's really hot. And that never happened. I thought I would do maybe like a favourite books. That never happened. So yeah, I just failed this month. So, you know, thanks for sticking around if you're still here. And this is just going to be my July wrap-up, which isn't very big. I only ended up reading one of the books that I picked out of my pot and I DNF'd a book. So we'll just go through them. Oh, but before we start, I wanted to show you my newest tattoo that I've wanted for a long time and have been waiting until I had more other tattoos before I had this one. It's on my hands and I didn't want to get tattoos on my hands before I was more covered. I'm not covered that much really. I have that one and then I have this sleeve, but it will be down here. I've booked in for that in September. But I got sick of waiting, really wanted this, and as soon as the tattoo parlours were open again, I decided to get it. So, it's a very bookish tattoo. It's something I've wanted for a long, long time, and I'm excited to show you. If you're on my Instagram, which you should follow me anyway, it's at @WhatKatieReads, then you've already seen it. Sorry for the wobbling, my dog's just leant on my tripod. But yeah. I now have a tattoo that says well read. I absolutely love it. I got it done on Tuesday. It's starting to get a little bit scabby, but it's fine. It's not really that bad. He also went over that little crown for me because that started to get like, there was a little couple of patches missing, so he redid that. It only took an hour with putting the stencil on as well, so it wasn't that long. So yeah, I'm really pleased I finally got it. My whole hands will be done eventually, so I won't look as bare. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. Oh, I've also had my hair cut. As you can see, I no longer have a mullet. This is going to come down to here, so it's all this length. I'm getting it dyed back to my signature orange at the beginning of September, and I can't wait. So yeah, let's get on with the books. The first book that I finished was A Cosmology of Monsters by Sean Hamill. It is a horror that is kind of like a Lovecraft horror. It's very meta, it mentions Lovecraft in it a lot. It's basically a story about a family who create this haunted house for Halloween, and then it becomes something that they do as their family business. The main character is a little boy, who obviously becomes an adult. I can't remember his name because I'm no good with names, but he sees this monster outside his window when he's younger, and then eventually he goes outside and he plays with it and talks to it and it takes him places, and he then becomes like his sexual partner as he gets older. This dog's driving me mad. It's really good. It sounds very strange, and that's because it is. There are like flashback scenes, but you're not sure who is talking during these flashbacks until, well, I didn't until the very last one. Then I realised what was happening. The problem was I got mine from NetGalley as an ARC, and the formatting was really off on those flashbacks. So I think it was only that the second to last one where I realised that it wasn't in order. I've moved it now, so hopefully you'll stop jumping on it. Yeah, it was only the second to last one where I realised it wasn't in order, so they just didn't really make sense, the first 3 that I read. But yeah, it's something I definitely want to read again, mainly because of that situation with that, but I also felt like there's a lot more to read into it than just the basic story. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because, as I've probably said before, books have to completely blow me away to get 5 stars these days. I used to give out 5 stars all the time, but not anymore because I'm a bit meaner. The next book that I read, I DNF'd, and that was Poverty Safari by Darren McGarvey. This was another one that I got from NetGalley. It's something that I thought was going to be really interesting. It's about the anger within the working classes, mainly in Scotland, because the author is Scottish. It's a non-fiction. And more than it being statistics and explanations for the anger, it was more like just a memoir of his life and following him around and explaining what he was doing with his day and who he was working with, and it just wasn't what I wanted. If I wasn't looking for what I thought it was, maybe I would have carried on and finished it, but it just wasn't worth reading for me. I think I read about 25-30% and just gave up. I gave this one 2 stars because, like I said, it wasn't really bad. It just wasn't what I was expecting and not what I was looking for. I then read, I think I talked about this last time, I was reading it but I hadn't finished it, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This was a 5-star book. I can't explain how much I enjoyed it, how much I loved it, how much... I mean, if you've read it, you will understand. I mean, not everyone on YouTube who I watch loves these books, and I can totally see why. I went out and bought the second one, second-hand from World of Books, pretty much straight away, and I was going to start it, but then I remembered it's the Newts next month, and I wanted to see if it would fit in, but then I didn't because I don't want to rush it. I want to take my time with it. And yeah, I think I flew through the last 300 pages once I understood the magic a lot more and remembered who all the characters are because, like, you know, I'm not very good with names. Yeah, Vin is really cool, and oh my god, what's his name? Sayzed? Is that how you say it? Love him. I think he's my favourite character. It doesn't feel as big as what it is, so if you're intimidated by it, don't worry. As a fantasy, it was everything that I wanted. It's the kind of book I wish I could write, but I know if I was speaking to this with my husband the other day, if I was to write a fantasy fiction, it would have to be an urban fantasy because I just don't have the mental capacity to create a world like Sanderson does, like George R.R. Martin does, etc, etc. But I wish I could, I really do wish I could, but it's just not possible. My brain doesn't hold information like that. But yeah, 5 stars, definitely. I can't wait to read the next one, but I am going to have to wait until September because, like I said, I don't want to rush it during the Newts because I have a shitload of books to read during the Newts, which you'll see in the next video. So yeah, I loved this book so much. The next one that I read was The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon. It is the prequel to the first Bone season. You do need to have read the Bone season to understand because it's only 78 pages, so she doesn't go into who everyone is and what everyone's doing and all that good stuff. I just wanted something to read that was short, and I needed more Bone season and more Samantha Shannon in my life at that moment. It was a good little story. There's not much you can say in a 78 page book. It was just like an extra story about name. I literally read it 3 days ago and I can't remember her name. Nope. No, it's not going to come to me. It's just another little story for them from the main character's point of view about how when she first joins the Seven Seals, and yeah, it was good, it was enjoyable. I am planning on reading the final book of the Bone season. I think it's The Song Rising for the Newts. I did want to have the mime order finished before Saturday, but that's not going to happen, so I'm going to have to cram that in as well as all the books I've got to read for the Newts. I do like to punish myself a bit sometimes, but yeah, that's another one of my favourite series and a new favourite author that I've found recently. I think I've said before that The Priory of the Orange Tree is one of the best books I've read this year, hands down. And then the final book is the one that is the only book that I've read that I picked out of the pot at the beginning of the month, and that is Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. This is more of an urban fantasy about people they call epics, which basically are regular people that have superpowers, and this is the second in the series where they go to what was New York and is now Babylon. I think it's Babylon. It was a good story. I like David. I remembered his name. I like David. He's, he tries his best and he pretty much fails at words, which I can grasp. See? Can't even think of the word. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading Calamity, the last one. I'm looking forward to understanding why what happened towards the end of the book happened to David but doesn't happen to anyone else. And I think that's my pizza. It was my pizza, so I'll wrap this up. So yeah, second in the series. I enjoyed it slightly less than the first, but I don't think it's that sorry, the dog's sniffing me because I've got pizza. Stop it! Wilson, move! Go over there. Sit. It didn't sit in that funny middle book stage. It was its own story on its own. It didn't just feel like a filler. And looking forward to reading Calamity. I'll probably pick up Mitosis because there's a lot of references to Mitosis, which is another epic in this one. And I think I've got it. I think I bought it on Kindle. So I might just read it at some point when I've got like a couple of hours. It's totally different than The Final Empire. Like I say, it is more of an urban fantasy, so the world building doesn't need to be as big, obviously, because it's in places that you recognise. The first book is in Chicago, which is called New Cargo, and then you're in New York. I think I gave that 4 stars, I can't remember. Including the book that I DNF'd, I finished 5 books this month. I've almost finished listening to 1,000 Skies Above You, and I think I'm going to get that done before the end of the month, so that'll be 6. I just don't love it. It's a nice easy read, but there's so much drama and angst and oh my god, everything's awful, and oh my god, we're not going to get him back, and he loves me but he's so horrible in other realms, and blah 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 blah. And the narrator's quite annoying as well. But I'm going to get that finished, so that'll be 6. So I've not done as bad as I thought I had. I thought I'd only read 3, and 6 is okay, but I would like to hit more like 10 next month. I will tell you all about what I'm going to read next month in my next video. And I also hit 50 books read last week, which was good. So I've got 30 left to read to hit my goal of 80. Considering my goal initially was 50, I've actually hit that now. If I'd have kept it the same, I would have been done. But I decided to up it because I like a challenge. So yeah, I hope you had a good reading month in July. I hope you read well. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye!